I'm just submitting some evidence right now, Your Honor, that's already in the discovery.
Hello? Open the door. It's okay, guys. I'll get you in.
When everyone is the jury all been able to review the footage?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I was joking.
After you shot the individual in the pig mask, how were you able to identify the assailant who had fired on you?
Due to a visual description by the helicopter camera, my co-pilot was able to identify an individual in a suit-like attire wearing a pig mask. It's also the individual seen in the CDs that had been released.
Did you personally remove the mask from the individual after you neutralized them?
I personally did not. I focused on the individuals that had been shot, taking care of them via medical.
But then when he was taken to the hospital, he was properly identified, correct?
I believe so. I was not there for the official processing portion. I handed over to the detectives.
And that would be Detective Henshaw, correct?
Correct.
Another question I wanted to ask. The whole layout of this compound, you said there was a code. I saw in the camera or your body cam that there were security cameras. This all requires maintenance and setup, in your opinion, correct?
Correct.
Would this be something that you think someone who, under the effects of a hallucination or drug, would be able to set up accurately and maintain?
I do not think so, no.
In your history as a law enforcement officer, have you ever met somebody that was able to maintain a compound like this under the influence of any drug or possible illness that would affect their brain and cause them to misinterpret reality?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Go outside and shoot my gun in the air so they come running up.
Mr. Hargraves, you have any cross?
You asked so many questions that he could have blocked.
Carbon gun?
Do you have any cross for this witness?
I won't go for right now.
Well, that's a no?
But,
Nope.
Good work if he's not gonna block.
All right,
you,
Detective, you're excused.
See the trial.
I have no purpose for him.
Okay. Madam DA, your next witness?
Yes, I'd like to call Thomas Henshaw, Detective Thomas Henshaw.
Mr. Henshaw, if you'll raise your hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to provide in this court is the truth and nothing but the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I will. Put things on the table.
All right, then. Madam DA, your witness.
Now, I'm not going to ask you the same questions I asked Mr. Irvin. I would rather start from the moment that the individual in the pig mask was shot by officers and taken to the hospital. At that point, you were able to identify who the individual in the pig mask was, correct?
I was not the individual who personally identified Hargreaves. I was in the hospital taking testimony and taking pictures of the individuals who were
The
involved.
thing I wanted
As
to get into,
it was so busy with how many people were brought to Sandy Hospital.
when his arms
And
started-
how many people were brought, if you don't mind my asking?
I don't recall the exact amount, but I do remember that most of the beds were filled in the ward.
So just from that compound alone, that was being maintained, you say that there were enough people there. It filled up all the hospital beds at Sandy Hospital.
Yes, in the main hospital ward, it filled all of them up.
Now, I'm gonna go into another kind of line of question. There was a point after the incident at this compound / bunker that when you identified the individual known as Turtle, but legally known as James Hargreaves, you guys interviewed him. I believe it was you and Officer Jameson.
Yeah, me and Jim Jameson interviewed after Hargreaves were captured, retrieved medical, and was brought over to Sandy Shores Police Department to be processed further. He had to wait a little bit in the cell till we were available to question him. But me and Jim Jameson took over the line of questioning, as also you could see the body cam that's provided for that.
Perfect. I do understand that was an extensive interview, and I will be also putting those clips in for the jury. But I just want to get a few highlights. When you read Mr. Hargreaves his rights, did he ever sound like he did not understand them, or that he was trying to follow along?
I don't recall. It's been over, I think, well over a month that this took place.
That's fine. We'll go through the first video then. Hopefully, it can refresh everyone's memory.
A lion is a lion, a sheep is a sheep. But you do not disrupt nature.
But isn't what
I'm
you're
going to be
doing
posting
disrupting
a few
nature?
videos here on.
Oh no, on the contrary. Order and chaos are a dynamic that fuels growth within its system. Chaos is just destruction. Storms are evil, and yet they are beautiful. Every creative act has its destructive consequences. Destruction is not evil. Destruction is sacrifice for the foundation stones that come. Chaos brings change. I am doing what is fair for humanity to thrive. I am cutting off the old insects, old roots of decaying and rigid morality, rigid perspectives that shrink you in a little box. I'm leaving room for people to blossom who they truly want to be.
Tell me how taking people's kidneys can be helpful for them.
Destruction blossoms change.
Now, we
So
are
you
sharing
take
the whole
people's
interview with the
kidneys
It's
jury.
not about the
However,
itself.
I would advise
It's
not
about
to
sending a
watch it all
message.
just yet.
So you're
I
sending
wanted to
them a
get the
message by
summary of what the interview was done
Can
and
you
shot.
can you hear him?
When you and Jameson interviewed Turtle,
Go ahead, I
did
can
he
hear you.
sound like he was talking to anyone other than you guys?
I don't believe so.
How would
I
you
don't believe-
describe? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't believe he was talking to anyone else. He was answering our questions. Sometimes vaguely, but he was still answering the questions.
Now, by vaguely, do you mean that he was trying to speak in riddles, wordplay tricks?
Yeah, mostly that.
But all the time you were questioning him, he sounded like he was fully aware of what he was doing.
I believe so, yes.
Now, kind of summarize the context of these interviews. Was his
And I'm
main
sick of
what was
trying
his
to
main
tell
goal?
you,
Was it just to,
because sometimes you could sign language
I guess,
of your
explain
emotions.
why
If you're not
he
in
committed
touch,
those murders
what-
in that compound?
Most of the questions he was asked during that was about why he caused it and why he was doing it. And to see what, his take was mostly on those,
maybe I am not being.
taking all the kidneys and all the body parts of all the individuals involved.
What was his reason for that?
I don't recall his
Objection.
exact reasoning.
What's your objection for?
Leading opinion.
I heard you. I'll let her continue.
I'll try to rephrase.
Nah, it's overruled, so you can continue the way you're going right now.
Would you mind repeating the question?
What was the motivation that Mr. Hargreaves gave you for the actions that he was confessing to?
I don't recall his motivation directly off my mind, but I do know that it was taken in his interrogation. What his intentions were.
Can you come out here with me for a second, sir, so I can search you?
Another thing, you guys discovered of the victims that were taken from that compound, there was a chemical substance that was placed in their bloodstream. Is that correct?
I am not familiar with a lot of the medical documents compared with this.
Here, we'll go with this. It was a CI.
Bro.
It was, I believe, the case file for Cassidy Clark, William Rudolph, Lorraine Alonso, Rob Yeager, Matt Sykes, Primrose Evans, and I believe Yamane Nomura. A chemical cocktail was found in the compound on the night that James was arrested, and there was a lab test on it. You can confirm that you actually found these cocktails in the compound, correct?
I'm not the personally one that had it into the compound. I think the search was done by a SWAT team. As far as I'm aware, it was brought back from the dungeon.
I'd like to point out that this is an excerpt from the report. It shows here that there was a chemical cocktail that contains dopamine, yohamine, carbogen. I'm sorry if I butcher some of these drug names, but if I'm correct, it says here, according to the lab report, Your Honor, that it affects the fear processing part of the brain.
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation. The witness is not able to testify nor has medical necessity to testify to the facts of the compounds.
Sustained.
Okay. Your Honor, can we still enter it though as we'll enter this as another never mind. You are no further questions, Your Honor.
Are you asking to answer that?
We'd just like him to answer that the compound or the chemical compound that was done in a lab result was found in the compound.
Objection, Foundation. The officer does not have the medical expertise to testify that a compound was found or was not. Again, he did not run the lab report.
Not a compound, but a substance that was found in the compound. Compound being the dungeon that was used to house the victims. I believe the officer can testify that there were officers on scene that collected this evidence and wrote it down in the report that he is listed as the reporting officer for.
Yeah, I agree he can testify that items were found, but as to what they were, unless he's a chemist, I don't think he can testify exactly what compounds were there. If you're saying it was a chemical, that's fine. As to what chemical, unless there were some labels on them that can be presented or shown, then we don't know what those items were without a proper lab technician testing those things and being here to provide testimony to that. Or if they have a lab report from a crime lab that can identify those items.
Yes,
but
Your Honor.
But the officer can't testify to the items being found because he didn't test it, if you understand what I'm saying.
Understood. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Hargraves, you have any cross for this witness?
Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to take a recess for 10 minutes with my client just to confer just everything that we just went over, if at all possible.
Yeah, I think that's a good time. People can get up, stretch, eat, drink. I am going to ask that you do it in a confined area, though, so it'll have to be down in the cells based on his demeanors last time.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If officers here can escort Mr. Hargraves down to the cells so that his attorney can speak to him. You said 10 minutes?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be back at 6 on the dot. And Detective, you're subject to recall because I'm sure he may have questions for you after we come back.
If you can escort the accused, please.
What is fucking mother?
Intro. You have my last name wrong on the report. That report thing.
Yeah.
It's too late now, though.
I think it's not. I think it's right in the victim list anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Was the SWAT saying something? Because I couldn't hear him.
Hmm?
Was SWAT saying something? I couldn't hear him.
I don't know.
I don't know. To be fair, they're like asking me questions about an interrogation that was like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Where it was 7 a.m. in the fucking morning, and like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, hello?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Okay. You guys can hear me now?
Yeah, I'm back, man.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah. Yeah, you patted me down and then you put me through the door and then I went somewhere else and had to come back. Oh shit, show, man. Oh yeah, appreciate it.
They have that door locked.
How are you?
How long?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
let's see.
All right.
Oh, I don't even see that guy.
Me neither.
Like the surrounding area.
Did everyone park the car that's out front?
Yeah.
I
Except
parked
for like
mine.
paramedics and a couple cops.
The courtroom's locked again.
Oh, yeah, everyone parked their car. I don't know. Okay. Oh, now I see him. Now I see him. After I walk back in.
How's it going?
It's definitely going. Haven't heard nothing yet.
I got you. Have they started the trial and everything?
Yeah, this is an
they
intermission, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna find the right verdict soon. They're dropping the hammer on this fucker.
Did anybody else hear David talking and not see him?
Oh, he is there, 100%.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, same. I had some other people that are here talking and I don't see them.
You mean Mr. Long?
Yeah.
I do not see him.
See, I don't see you.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm the best one here to look at.